Oh, hello there. Welcome. I see you've come for part 2 of the slices of the live that was hosted on Rion-Cult Tastic's channel. Enjoy.
But turn it around.
But in my opinion, as I've said before, and I think you've all probably have said, that this stuff happens because of the callous words from the elites who run the spiel. So let's play what Mr. Hendrix said. Oh, Hendrix. Sorry. I didn't mean that at all. All right, here we go. So he's talking to a guy who's running this certain department. The guy goes to he's just sharing some information, and I think at the end he regrets his decision to share this information. Here we go.
He looked totally uncomfortable.
For our work, and I know that over the next several months it's going to be even more refined. As an example, the Office of Public Information gave us access to a commercial site that does this and paid a lot of money for it for the International Convention. And we're glad to be able to save not only money, but also have a better product. So thanks once again, Bill. We look forward to specialized training for this in March and April that we will we'll have as part of our quarterly. We'll have a brief one in quarterly, and then we'll also send that.
He's talking about the different meetings that they're going to have.
Thanks for all you do, and thanks to your team.
And now here it comes.
They're still busy, and that's not going to change. So we love you guys, and we love what you do.
All that praise.
Just one tiny little thing we want to show too as well is there's going to be an additional tab where you can see the actual entire team that you're going to be calling out there as well.
I
so there's that
office
assistant.
I noticed on that team you have all young, beautiful sisters as office support. I don't think that's very helpful.
I'll leave that up to you. But,
freaking cat.
Oh yes, it's a local decision. Local decision and principle based.
Absolutely.
A creep will
that
always
stiff upper lip is staying with you.
Creep.
Okay, Bill, thank you. Thank you so much for all that you do. Yeah,
pleasure.
So that's exciting, isn't it? It really is.
All right, so that was. Oops.
The commenting. That was exciting. It really was, Tom. Oh my god, that was so awesome. That was so cringy.
So cringy.
And that complete shift. There was like a huge shift from where he's like praise and praise and praise, and then just blatantly knocks the girls, the beautiful girls, and it's not healthy. Like, how can you go from praising them for everything that they do, and then,
because
that's not healthy.
In their mind,
do the right thing.
That's also praise.
It's
in their mind, that's
JW Bros.
Patriarchal, like toxic masculinity thing. Like, though you got babes in your office, like they're supposed to giggle and swoon because Mr. Two Rings said it.
Emotionally
and that dude was so
stunted.
uncomfortable.
So,
yes.
Do you want to know something about that clip?
Yes.
I want to know something about that clip.
I told someone I wouldn't talk about this, so I'm not going to mention names. But the uncomfortable guy who Robert was talking to, who was sharing the screen, that man's daughter was on that screen.
Oh,
man.
Gross. Oh, no. That poor guy.
That's not right. That's not even right.
What if he knew? Because also, don't put that past them either.
Robert would have known. Robert would have known. It's his department. It's his colleagues.
Yep.
That's just so rude, man.
Oh my god.
Just so freaking rude.
That was a very gross segment. Like him flexing about how much money they spent. Him like, ogling over this department. Now that the daughter of this guy who you don't have to be an expert body language reader to see discomfort.
Oh, he was just like he just was like
he was a good person.
I know.
You didn't just say this to me.
Yeah. That was a look of stun.
Yeah. And then how he handled it.
He handled it like I was raised to handle it, which is to nervously laugh and
pretend it's okay.
Let me laugh at your horribly sexist joke.
I still struggle with doing that.
Yep.
I do. I struggle with doing that still, and like making sure I'm direct and like, no, that's not well, obviously he couldn't fight back, but it's just horrible that they played that for however many people they have, volunteers who get to log in and see that video. And I'm sure there probably will be JW bros that why do they get to do that?
I wonder if he did that because he was paying that guy. Like, you know how you have the elder at the restaurant that's always a little bit more of an a-hole to the staff?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I know his name.
What if this was his way of doing that because of how much money they spent on this program?
Actually, I wanted to ask that question. He started that whole segment off. I tried to write it down, that they spend a bunch of money for access to commercial site, something to save money. Take it away, Bill. And I was like, what
exactly. Yeah.
Wait.
Yeah, I'm not really sure exactly what it is that I was a bit confused because there's just so much to take in, and I was struggling.
I think if you watch the entire video and more around that clip, they were probably talking about a PR tool, like an outside PR media relations tool that is made by someone in the world that gets them access to like contact information for media outlets and journalists and all that stuff. It's and I think it's a program that they've incorporated with their own programs.
Some type of like data collector.
They're talking about paying a lot of money to get this access to it.
Like a website scraper.
Yeah, it might be a fully automated thing. People out there make databases for all different kinds of industries, but it's some kind of industry specific database and contact tool, I believe.
Okay. I wasn't quite sure how some of this was going because I was paying attention to bits and pieces. I did take some different notes about some other things that I thought was quite interesting.
Can't help myself.
That he said, specifically at the 55-minute mark, he talks about, I could play it, but I'll just tell you, he talks about how like they have this new media landscape with Zoom, and they never even really thought about the fact that now they can do Zoom interviews with these different media outlets, and like how this is all like, it basically all leads to how this is like Jehovah's blessing, Jehovah's Holy Spirit. And I'm just thinking, if technology is giving you, like we said this backstage, if technology is giving you this ability to do things via Zoom, you don't have to do things in person anymore. Why do you need 15,000 Kingdom Halls?
Please want make them in person. Sense. They're getting more productivity out of them when they're not working from home.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep. Exactly.
Like it is the grossest version of capitalism because it's only them that benefit, and they just they're not getting their widgets fast enough anymore.
Nope.
Interesting that part of this latest one that was released, they did talk about coming out of COVID and how that's changing the department. I think a lot of people were working from home, locked down, and they had more time to volunteer for this department, and so a lot more stuff got done. And I wonder how many people have been lost from the department in recent months as things begin to open up and people just don't have as much time. And the rest of the world is moving on from puff pieces during a time when everything's locked down. Yep. In the previous seminar that they did in September, at the end of it, Robert Hendrix almost got teary about please remain loyal to our department. Like, please remain loyal to the organization and remain loyal to our department. We don't want to lose you. And it was very odd. So,
you know what? When you mentioned that, he kept saying how, like, we know that this might be a shock to you, and we understand that, like, this redirection might be hard for some people because they really enjoyed the video production they were doing, and now it's going to be going to this
Central.
yeah. Thank you. And so we understood that, you know, it might be hard, but please stick around. Please, you know, we'll get through this or whatever. So whatever's happening, like, obviously there's some rumbles in there, people being like, not being really happy, it sounds, at least from what I was picking up.
I think reading between the lines, there's something there. Yeah.
It's something is afoot. Like,
you know, I had a conversation with another friend recently after I released all this stuff. How do you not wake up working for this department?
Like, I think that could be part of the issue.
You know, your goals are to suppress factual negative stories about your organization. You see the tactics, you have all the outlines. I mean, it seems very slimy work, and how are people okay with it? It would wake me up, I think. So,
I think you're right. Them more than anybody probably are seeing some of the bad, like the stuff that's coming in, and having to figure out how to redirect it and reposition it. Maybe that's part of the reason why there's some rumblings. People are like, is this all true? I don't know. I wonder.
I don't know. I know. Yeah, Nash just said the same thing as my wife. How does the legal department not wake up? Right? Yeah.
Seriously.
Excellent point.
You want your exponential growth, guys are going to get busted. Simple as that.
So how about we get him a real attorney? Man, what the hell is this? This is who he hires?
What? Are you kidding me? This is the guy you want. This is the guy I'd hire.
Oh, it's the guy you'd hire.
Seriously, when the going gets tough, you don't want a criminal lawyer, right? You want a criminal lawyer. Know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's really sad when you see people who could maybe be bright and do things on the outside world and actually get paid for it, doing things for free for this organization, and they probably struggle to sleep at night. At least I couldn't see how they sleep at night unless they're just that brainwashed.
Maybe that's how you know who's getting paid. Is
right.
Departments that have to do like this. Like, it must be some scary to leak this stuff, because I feel like these people know what the truth is.
Yeah.
Because they're actively suppressing it. Like, this is a suppression department. Like, we call it different things, propaganda, public information, and but it's a suppression department. Like, anything you can put out when somebody Googles Jehovah's Witnesses, that's not, you know what to skip. As a Jehovah's Witness, you'll know what to skip, and you'll know what to click on.
Yep, exactly.
I'll tell you one example of that thing you just described is when the news broke from the Attorney General's office in Pennsylvania was it October or November? I think like late October.
It was late October.
So the news broke, big press conference with the AG, news outlets start picking it up and writing stories about these 4 men who tried to be arrested. One of them took his life. The day after that, Robert Hendrix went on a news station in in Pennsylvania, so nearby, but in the state of Pennsylvania. He went on a local news channel on the radio and gave an interview. And it was one of the least well-prepared interviews he's ever given. When he does a media appearance, it's almost completely scripted. You can tell.
He was just out there.
The people have the softball questions on a script ready to ask him because they know the answers. They kind of tee it all up like they know what's coming. This woman who he was interviewing in Pennsylvania didn't necessarily ask hardball questions, but asked him some uncomfortable questions. But man, is he a good spinster, because she asked him about how can a Jehovah's Witness marry a non-Jehovah's Witness? Is that allowed?
Oh.
And he's like, it's absolutely allowed. We don't micromanage our friends.
What?
Stop.
You serious?
And shortly after asking that, or he rambled on for probably 3-4 minutes about that. He asked, so what about children? What if a child, do children have to choose to become Jehovah's Witnesses? And he took that question and flipped it as, oh yeah, children have to make the choice to learn and eventually. But the question was, do Jehovah's Witness children have to choose to be Jehovah's Witnesses?
Right.
And
they want a place to live.
He said yes. Choice is involved. Yes.
So
the choice is you have to.
But the fact that he went and did that appearance in Pennsylvania the day after bad news broke, I mean, that was not a coincidence, if you ask me. That was to push down and bring positive information to the community about Jehovah's Witnesses.
Right. Okay. So that makes me wonder, does that mean that relatively soon we're going to have another one of those puff pieces released?
Well, this last
is it almost like tit for tat?
Yeah, that'll be interesting because this last week was one of the worst weeks for news for Watchtower I have seen in recent history.
Yeah.
Norway, Japan, these 2 stories out of Colorado, and then more stories out of the Pennsylvania sexual abuse cases. Yeah. It's bad. So that's why
a whirlwind.
That's why it was time to release these videos this week. So
it's the opportune time. There's some scripture about like the opportune time, like
at the proper time.
Yeah. The other day I said an apple at the right time.
Brian has forgotten her Jehovah's Witness idioms.
Oh my God. But you know what? That was like always what I was told. So yeah. Anyway,
I've thankfully drained my brain from a good large portion of them. I've replaced them with things like
how do I drain my brain?
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
What you do is you just fill it with other things, and then over time all that shit gets squished out of your brain, and then one day you go, oh, I fucking totally forgot all about that.
Yeah. That's true. Like the whole Jinx. Somebody brought up Jinx the other day, and I was like, oh, that's another one. I forgot about Jinx. Can't say Jinx. It's just so funny.
Yeah, I have the same thing with bless you. Like when someone sneezes. Yeah.
Yep.
Do you say it, or do you get weirded out by it?
I had to like teach myself to say it. Like I would say it to myself when I sneezed. I'd be like, "Oh, bless me," or it's like something. I don't know, because I always heard everyone else do it, so I was like, "Oh, that's just like a nice thing to do. I should do it."
Right.
Right.
We're just trained to respond when someone sneezes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a old superstition, and now it's just kind of like one of those social gestures that nobody really means. Nobody really means, and it's like if you say, "Hey, how you doing?" You don't necessarily mean like tell me your life story. It's just like I'm alive right now. Great. We're both alive. Keep it rolling. So LOH, should I maybe pull up? I could pull up information about Japan, or you could Google it, but basically Japan.
And thank you for watching. I appreciate you coming here and having a slice of the live. Please come back for more. We'll have more content going forward. We had a little bit of a lull period there, but we're hoping to get more things out to you on a regular basis. As always, we appreciate your support, and please like, share, and subscribe, and we will catch you next time. Have a great day. Bye for now.